bring up the lady that knows the publishing business. She knows a lot, and she's the boss of the Fagan household, Ms. Jill Fagan. Mrs. Jill Fagan.
I do own a publishing company, award-winning Beverly Hills. I am also an author, and I publish lots of different people, experts in every industry, actors, athletes, and those are the ones that I typically get the most questions about. Which celebrities have you published? When people hear I'm in Beverly Hills, they want to know, who have I published? And I typically tell, and I'm not going to today, but I typically tell, but why? Why do people want to know about celebrities? What is the interest? I mean, are there any new messages out there? Really? No, there aren't. All the messages that are out there have been told. So why do we care? We care because it's their story. We've heard a lot about stories today, right? Why is that? Because the power of your story is amazing. That's what I'm going to speak about. Do you guys mind if I tell a story? Do I have your permission to tell a personal story?
Yes.
Thank you. So, as my husband said, we have 8 kids, and I know it seems crazy, and we are a little crazy. But when I introduce myself, I always say I have 9 kids and I'm raising 8. And it's not my husband, by the way. Pregnancy and delivery and babies have always been something that were easy for me. I like being pregnant, and it's not that hard, which has allowed me to have a lot of kids, and I'm thankful for that. So, but I think we each have different experiences, and one of those pregnant experiences changed my life forever. When we were pregnant with our 6th child, everything seemed to be going totally normal. It was great. Everything was perfect. We went into labor, went to the doctor, and Dave and I, we like to have a lot of fun. So the doctor's looking for the baby and, moving the baby around and trying to get a heartbeat before we climb into the tub, because we do water birth, which I love, and I would never do it any different. But so we're getting ready to climb into the tub, and she's looking for the baby's heartbeat, and I keep saying, okay, come on, baby, cooperate here, and we're making jokes and laughing. And after a few minutes, the doctor said, let's go do an ultrasound really fast. So we walked through the birthing center, and there happened to be that night 10 couples there that were doing birthing classes. So they were learning about the process and what they should expect and things like that. So we walked through that room and we go into the ultrasound room, and David and I are still, laughing and joking. He's like, "What's that? Is that the baby's head?" And I was like, "No, you idiot! It's not. That's not what it is." And it's like, "You're so bad at this. Why do you even guess anymore?" And I said, "Just leave it up to the doctor." And I looked at the doctor at that time. I looked over at her and I saw massive amounts of concern on her face. And I said, "What's going on, Connie?" She said, "Well, this is the chest, and right here is the heart. And you can see that it's not beating." And in that instant, my world changed. Everything that I thought I knew was different. My perspective was different. As you can tell, it was devastating. My husband asked for a moment of privacy, and the doctor left the room. Through my sobbing, he said, "We're going to get through this together." We said a prayer. We asked for peace and comfort. I dried my tears, put a smile on my face. We walked back through that room of 10 couples. We went to the hospital and delivered our beautiful little girl. And a couple days later, we buried her in a cute pink casket. Our stories change our perspective. Because I went through that experience, I have more depth. I can communicate lessons that are valuable. And they're different. The lessons that you take from one story are different every time. I can talk about the fact that life is precious and short. Be thankful. I can talk about the fact that with the right partner, you can get through anything. I can talk about the fact that life is not what we expect for any of us. It's hard. And I can talk about the fact that there's a plan. There is a plan. We each have a divine purpose. What is your purpose? How do you use your stories to connect with people in ways that are powerful and deep? Do you do that? If not, you're not leveraging the story effect. We each have our stories, so how do you use them? Not just for business, not just for making money. How do you use them to truly connect? These are the things that are important in life. Sharing your story, leaving a legacy, those are critical. Sometimes we use those to make money, and that's great. I am not opposed to making money, but they should also fill a deeper meaning for you. So this is my challenge. Regardless of what you're going to do with your story, start becoming aware that you have one every day. Every day. Be aware. Then acquire that story, write it down. There are so many ways that we can acquire our stories today. There's Facebooking, that's recording it, journaling, it's audio, video, all of those things. Then make sure that you are looking at the messages and seeing what you can relate and connecting with your audience. If you do those 4 things, you will be able to develop your core stories and attract the people that you love to serve. Thank you so much.